For today, we're talking about the voice and doing it in the bedroom. I think as a regular cis woman, this is like not a topic at all. But for a trans woman, this is a huge fucking topic because the voice is so hard to change, first of all. Second of all, you can't like ride estrogen into a better voice like that. I hate the fact you can't do that. Testosterone will help you, but estrogen will not. It's kind of like, I mean, it's super disruptive in terms of getting into your flow because now you have to think about it while you're doing it. And like, if you're thinking about that, then you're not thinking about doing it, right? So like, let's get bone in with the right voice. I don't know if this is so much a lesson, so much as this is like a talking about it, because man, it's a pain in the ass. I've already decided I'm gonna get voice surgery to help me mold my voice a bit better so I don't have to think about this. But I've been doing this for like 7 years. Yeah, I've gone to voice lessons. And I've spent so much time working on getting my voice in the right place and trying my best to like not have like tension in my body, having it soft. Like I'm still carrying tension. Like I think if I remove the tension a bit, let's see here. So here's me relaxed. And then here's me where I'm trying to like feminize it a bit. If I go like to a full relaxed state, it's sort of more down here. And I could go like really deep right here. But this is kind of like where, I mean, I guess this could be a sexy woman voice. I don't know. It just feels a bit low. So it's like when I'm neutral, I'm right here. And then when you're trying to make noises and you're kind of trying to make noises from like, you know, if you've watched porn or you know, something you're like, I want to get that like ooh and ah and like all those great noises out. But like A, you're thinking about that. B, you're trying to experience the pleasure and joy of the sex. And C, you're also trying to express your pleasure. Like when he's eating me out, which I fucking love, my boyfriend, so great, with him licking and working his way around there, I kind of need to give him some signals as to like, yes, and also not be thinking about it, right? And not be like, yeah, baby. Like, I'm not trying to do that. So those examples I just gave you of the, yes, I can do it like that, but it's not comfortable. I'm like squeezing my throat. Sometimes if we're doing it for a while, I'm just gonna straight up start coughing because the friction and the dryness in my throat, it's now difficult. I mean, there's times where it's like almost like no sound comes because it's now been friction enough that it doesn't want to do it. I don't know. Like, how's sex for you in making noises? Like, if you're a guy and this is like what you like to do, you're not expected to make noise. You don't make a lot of noise. But now, if you were a guy and you've moved into being a girl, you now need to kind of express that because it's expected of you, right? Like you want to be a woman, you want to express yourself, you want to feel gender affirmed in the bedroom. You got to do it. But like how? And how do you do it in a way where you don't like make yourself feel like more dysphoric or more self-conscious? Or if I were to make a noise that would make me feel self-conscious about like, oh, like, did that come out a little too masculine? I might start thinking about, well, is he perceiving me differently now? And now I'm not thinking about the sex. I'm not thinking about the pleasure. I'm not. There have been moments where I've been getting railed like pretty deep down. Doggy style is probably like the most railing. You know, they're feeling you. They're pushing it in there. And you kind of let out like a yelp or just like a oh my God, like, There comes a point where it's just like, you can't let out the sound you want. You can't think about the sound you want. It's just like, just kind of like in shock. It's taking over my entire space and I just need to be like, you know, something like that. And that's like the best I can do. I don't think it's what I want to give, but it's just like what I can give. And I don't think he cares because he's nailing the shit out of me and he's having a great time and he's gonna come any second now. But like, I would like to not have to think about that. I've worked on my voice. I've worked on my laugh. I've worked on like the sex sound a bit. And I do have something. If you go and like the sex is like it's kind of up there, I suppose. But it's like you need the air. Sometimes you don't have the air. And I'm not the best at it. Like I see some trans girls in some porn movies where I'm like, damn girl, you've been working on your voice. But I guess like if you're a professional, that's like the number one thing you have to achieve. And I'm not a performer like that. What do you do in this kind of situation? Like, how do you go about it? How do you reason about it? How do you work with your own dysphoria about it? How do you work with it in a way that it's arousing for your partner and potentially arousing for you? I notice that sometimes when I'm so focused on making the noise or communicating the noise, I'm no longer experiencing the pleasure, and whatever kind of precipice of pleasure that I was moving towards, it starts to fade away because I just kind of lost the plot. You can lose the plot when you're thinking about, oh, I found pleasure and I need to share that. It's like, how do you go about that? For me, the way that I'm going about it right now is I'm trying to focus my best on just like, what is the pleasure? What is the sensation? And what is the feeling in my body that wants to emerge? And listen to that feeling and let that feeling emerge a sound as it wants to. I will hold my larynx in a certain position to enable the sound to come out more femininely and just kind of ride with that, so to speak. Like that's kind of where I'm at right now. But there are times where I'm literally just coughing. I remember he was eating me out for like 20 or 30 minutes. And I just started coughing. Like we had to take a break because I'd just been making so much noise. Another tip that I got from a friend, which was actually really useful, is I told my partner to just watch me. To not just like use the sound as guidance, but to really like watch me, because there's things that you'll see that I'm not communicating with sound because I just don't have like a full spectrum of sound yet. Like I don't have all of that. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you're a porn star. Maybe you know all about this. And if you do, please tell me. And by the way, subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. If you like embodiment and sex and all the things we talk about, if you like that juicy, let's go. Come aboard. Let's go for more of this. Oh yeah, telling him to watch me has been like huge. Because him watching me, he can read me way better. He said there's like moments where I stop breathing. He can see it, and he can see like I'm kind of like sitting on like the edge of something. And when I'm there, he knows that like I'm actually experiencing a lot of pleasure, but I'm like making no sound. And I think I do that because I'm like just focus on the pleasure. Lock in, girl. Like you don't have to always be broadcasting. So like the kind of like there's this progression where in the relationship, he makes the move. So we start kissing. He starts like making some moves. He may even start touching me. But I'm not gonna let out a sigh or a sound to like turn him on or to tell him I am looking forward to experiencing pleasure. I may have done that in the past, but I don't do that now. Like I don't genuinely make noise unless it feels like it's coming from a place of like it wants to make a sound. And that kind of shift has made my sexual experience more pleasurable because as long as I set a good floor with the vocal cords, I'm not thinking too much about how I articulate or make it. I let the body, when it wants to make a sound, make a sound. So he'll be kind of down there touching around. I may not be turned on yet, but then there's a point where he locks in and he starts kind of like enveloping me with his masculinity. And at that point, I'll be like, oh my God, like, and then we're grooving, we're moving, baby. Like that kind of feeling emerges and it gives him an indicator of like my levels of where I'm at, which I think is helpful. And it helps me feel a little bit more kind of just in my body. But I'm not there. I'm not fully there. Like, where are you in that journey? Like, I'm not fully there. I don't know. I'm going to get vocal surgery. That's like what I'm going to do because I met a girl who did have it, and like the level of nuance in like her laugh and ability to just kind of express was just so much better. I feel like I always have to position right before I speak. And sometimes when you need to let out a spontaneous laugh, you're not positioned yet for it, or you have to think about it. And yeah, it does become mechanical, but that 0.25 seconds or whatever, I don't like it. I don't. So what is your thoughts on this? Like, I'd love to hear how you're thinking and where you are. Yeah, thanks for joining me today. I'll see you in another episode soon. Bye.